come true. I found the real dream, baby, when I found you. You're so strong, but tender to your mind. Oh, yeah. Feel so safe, feel secure with you. You give me love, you keep right on giving. Fill me up, baby, with your love. Things get tough, I can always turn to you. You're my angel, oh angel. You're my angel. Everywhere we touch, I love the way it feels. Every time your name in my phone, I just won't keep still. No doubt about it that this love I feel is real. Ask me to go with you. You're not real. Hold me near, hold me tight. Only you can make it real. Only you make it alright. Just let me know that I am special to you. You're my angel. Oh, you're my guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find a love within. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let you know. Got a thing for you, and I can't let go. What you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you don't give up. In my world, only you. Maybe do for love what I would not do. My friends wonder what is wrong with me. Well, I'm in the days from your love, you see. I came back to let You know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go. Want the places you what you want to do for love. You've tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, only you made me do for love what I would not do. Made me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Make me do for love what I would not do. Nobody moves, there's blood on the floor. And I can't find my heart. Where did it go? Did I leave it in the cold? So please give it back, cause it's like yours. Nobody moves, nobody moves. Hopefully, you like the selection of music. Woo! Oh, man. Shout out to everybody here. We got Donnie Mac. We got Indigo Flow, Detroit 313. The Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Woo! Who else in the chat? We got the Hawk TV, T Riddler. I'm listening. Alan Wild. Antonio Labs. Mel and Sun is Hot Raw in the building. Yeah, Summer Madness. Oh, you gotta love that Summer Madness, man. See, thank you once again for making these last two shows hot like fire. But I do have to say this. I'm still waiting for you, Amari. Amari, come on, Amari. Let's have a good conversation. You think that I said some distracting things about you? No? No, no, no. I got nothing personally against you. But some of the shit you were saying was stupid as hell. And you know it was. Still waiting for you. Let's have a good conversation. Just be a year. Just come on for a while. Come on for a while. I'm waiting for Classic Ruby as well. A lot of people have stuff to say, but they don't say it. We're going to talk about this thing called the gender war. The victories, the casualties, the battlefield tactics that have ever evolving and ever changing. For those of you who are new, I am the author of the goddamn law. Trademarked. The creator of my brother, my champion, my savior. Trademarked. The suntan Superman. The man that can with a plan. Woo! Charles Faulkner, the man. Now that we got all that out the way, I was listening to BGS do a play-by-play of Hammer. 21-year-old guy in college who, for all intents and purposes, is very hard leaning to the incel community. And the reason why I say that is because he's one of those guys who doesn't have that much experience. Actually, he's 21 and a virgin. He'll tell you that. With women. He thinks that men are losing the gender war, but for all contraire, mon frere, men have already won. This country may be matriarchal, but not as matriarchal as you think if they're overturning Roe v. Wade. They're trying to get back as close to patriarchal as possible when they're allowing people to have the right to bear arms and changing states from shall carry to, from may issue to shall issue states. They're trying to go back to when power was only for the powerful. I'm going to say that again. They're trying to get back to the state when power was only for the powerful. You get my drift? You dig? A lot of brothers out there don't understand that concept very well. Because when we look at these things about the gender war, what did we want? Number one, to be heard. Somebody jot that down. The number one thing that when they started this manosphere and men's right culture was to be heard. Mission accomplished. Victory. Number two, to affect cultural, social change. Fire truck coming down, pause. Oh, they turned to left. Two, to affect social and cultural change. Mission accomplished. Victory. With the advent of the manosphere, in particular, the black one, we literally have talking points that are used in mainstream media. Number three, the upliftment and the reinstatement of not only masculinity, but fatherhood. Think about it. There are so many states that are right now ushering in 50-50 automatic custody. So, number four, to initiate the freedoms of men going their own desired way. How many men, black men, are getting their passports and traveling abroad? Not just for tricking, not even for tricking, just to see how life is different. Somebody forgot to put number three up there, but think about this. When a black man goes out of his community and see how life really is, it's amazing. You can see the change. You can see the wanting of knowledge, the gathering of information. That's a victory. One of the stereotypes of black men, we don't like to travel, we don't go anywhere. That's a victory, man. When you can tell young black boys how it looks to go outside your element, how it looks to go outside, to be like Ultron and Pinocchio, and to tell your women there are no strings on me. Either I lead or I leave, should be the motto for that one. See, listening to Hammer, a guy who's not even old enough nor experienced enough to know how to handle and deal with women, tried to talk to a man who's literally 3 times your age. What did I say last time? About a week or two ago. There's a serious issue that we need to definitely address in the black community. And that's a lack of respect for black male leadership and elder black male ingenuity. You got to be an arrogant son of a bitch to go up to your grandfather and tell him, you don't know what you're talking about. Because obviously, it's very disrespectful to talk to a man who was more manlier than you, not only biology, because he's probably producing more testosterone in a day than your pussy ass do in a week, but to actually face segregation, to actually face things that a lot of people would have a lot of issues
opposing. How is it that a 20 to 21-year-old virgin is going to tell a man who has grandchildren about the gender war? Nigga, you when the gender war officially started, you were probably still a twinkle in your daddy's nutsack. And I got nothing personally against people, but let's tell the truth about the truth. Philip, assalamu alaikum. Alaikum salam. You have to look at this because for the past 2 or 3 live streams, I have ladies come up here and try to challenge me with shit, and I'm just toying with them. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can say. You can't even dream of a victory against me. That's why a guy like Mary is not coming up here. I wish he would, because we would actually talk about some of the shit that he states. That is wrong. That's why you get a lot of these chicks up here. Well, you know, what's up, truth? Well, no, we don't know. Make it make sense. Like I asked the lady yesterday, make the shit make sense. I'm putting it out there as simplistic as possible in common language, you know, black folks speak. And it's either two things. Either you don't understand the concepts and the material, or you're just being ignorant to the truth. Pick one. Pick a fucking struggle. Please. But what really happens is we get people talking about the gender war. The gender war. One, there's going to be a lot of guys out there who want the gender war to continue for one reason and one reason only, is because they actually have a hatred of women, or they're making money off of this shit. I'm going to say it again. Either they actually do hate women, or they're making money off of this shit. But people are not going to be legit and honest about things. Simply put, why and how and when was it over? One thing that made the gender war collapse, first and foremost, when men in our community started giving women their indifference. We didn't put you on a pedestal anymore. We didn't try to downgrade you. We just said, you know what? Juice, squeeze, no. We'll get you when we get you. And then a little thing called COVID happened. All that mighty independence went out the window when mighty COVID starts spreading his wings. And then all of a sudden now, why do we need a man? Because you can't survive without a man. Because this whole damn planet will fly off its damn axis the day men say we ain't working till we get what the fuck we want. If 88% of your police departments are men, 88% of your military are men, 92% of your firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics are men, 98% of your construction workers are men, What the fuck do you think's gonna happen if those men say, "Fuck it, we on strike"? What are you gonna do? And women fail to realize because they lived in a lapse of luxury, comfort, and protection. When that shit dried up during COVID, the war was officially over. And another keynote time that we can place was the rise of the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. The Dark Knight Rise. The Dark Knight Rises, baby. Yeah, there needs to be, Indigo. There needs to be a day without men. And we'll let you hold, and we let you, and guess what? Hold your own goddamn ovaries. What's the saying? People sleep soundly and peacefully in their beds due to rough men doing violence on their behalf. What happens when Brother Samuels rose to prominence, rose to greatness, with the controversial message that he brung, aka Red Pill and Manosphere talking points? R.I.P. Brother Samuels. Woo! Damn right, Philip. Think about it. To make over 1 million subscribers and still growing. And Hammer tries to tell us that the message of the high value man died with him. Are you freaking serious? Are you freaking serious? Just to let you know, you don't need all men. You just need a good portion of them. 20%, 30% of men say, we're not working. Guess who's going to suffer? Guess who's going to get it? What if 30% of your police department, fire department, sanitation say, fuck it? That's enough to change the winds. You know what they're going to say? Give these niggas what the fuck they want. Please come back. What do you think women are doing now? We'll give you what you want. We'll finally give you submission. Please come back. These bills are kicking my ass. Think about that. Think about that. Yeah, the building of the builders, the shakers, the movers. Think about that. I'm back. I want you to really think about it. When Kevin started rising and those women started coming on to the show, having candid conversations about their relationship history, where they're rated in the eyes of men. When did you ever hear black women ever give a damn about what black men thought and will rate them? And at that moment, when that average at best video came out and exploded virally, we caught lightning in a bottle. A lot of these chicks are still not working because of COVID. The safety blanket was off, and we still have people saying that we're still fighting the gender war. Anytime you took away Roe v. Wade, that told you how much you fit in the scheme. Okay? Anytime. Anytime you take Roe v. Wade and you tell them, the hell with my body, my choice, my country, my decision. That's what the Supreme Court told them. I think it's hilarious that every right that women have was never earned, it was given, but there's no appreciation for it. That men had to fight wars and give up their lives and all kinds of shit just to make a peaceful land. But do you think we show any appreciation for it or get any? No. You're supposed to do this. A real man would. Stop telling us what a real man would do. Shout out to F Holiday, always faithful. Oh, with the Cash App salute. Think about this. When men said, you know what, I'd rather drink muddy water than to deal with you. I'd rather sleep on the roof of a house than to be with an insufferable woman. And they stuck to their guns. Gender war was over. It was over. It was over. Yep.
You know what time it is?
3:05.
3:00. Okay, thank you. That's usually on 7.
Mm, it's one of them. It's close. When we look at this, we got to thoroughly analyze why a guy like Hammer would say the gender war is either still ongoing or we lost. But this what happens when you took yourself out the field of play to even understand what was going on. This is what I said a week or two ago with the lack of respect for elder male knowledge and wisdom. You really think that you could speak to a guy who's 3 times your age like you're an equal? I don't know where they do that. Is this learned in school? Is this allowed in the home? What's up with that? What's up with that? As a matter of fact, let's listen to a little bit of this from BGS's commentary.
There was a war in the first place. Like the last few weeks. And since I did the video about the gender war being over and we won, which I completely laid out my argument, but everybody runs or walks over the whole argument this is, okay? Which is not the objectives that was laid out in the initial start of what quote unquote gender war, which I never agreed that there was a war in the first place. And that keep, I used to ask all the time, okay, it's a gender war. Okay, so it's a gender war, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go with this? What's your objectives? War is having a thing. If the whole gender war was about power or getting laws passed, which that only came after we achieved a certain amount of success, all of a sudden everybody starts moving the goalposts. And this young brother, who, when the gender war first started, he was no more than 6 years old, okay? Because he's 21. When I first came online as a MGTOW in 2013, which is 9 years ago, he was 12. He didn't know shit about it. Just got here. And now he's trying to define what the gender war is. So I'm going to do a reaction since he's been going off and he's already done 2 videos. He's getting ready to do a third about the same thing and basically say the same things over and over again. So as an 18-minute video, he did a whole live stream that was an hour. I guess he didn't get all his points out. So we're going to go over by maybe half of this, hopefully, and get some points out and hopefully put this one to bed. Okay. Because he was supposed to go on live, he delayed it, but the last time we had a row, I put his name in and he didn't show up. So I don't know why people put my put my name in their mouth, and then when I make a reaction, they don't show up. But anyhow, if he wanted me to show up, he could have emailed me. He didn't do that. So somebody had to tell me that my name was in it. But anyway, we're gonna bring him up. I got a recording. We're gonna bring him up, and we're gonna get the party started. This is from Hammer. Men lost the gender war. This is to me.
What's up, y'all? This is Hammer here again. And today I'm going to be doing a live stream in regards to,
again,
the manosphere, purpose of the manosphere, response to BGS. I had a quick upload this morning. I had to go somewhere. I'm doing a much more formal response in the form of the stream. I'll let y'all come in here as time goes on. But and for those who've been asking me, yes, my channel Hammer I've closed it down and I've moved over to my other channel Archer. That's when I'm gonna be doing my uploads. So for those who still want to continue to view my content, view my thoughts and stuff, you can go over to my other channel. In fact, in this live stream in the description, I'm going to leave the link there for those who want to go there and check it out. Over there, I'm going to be talking much more formal. Okay. So, yeah. So that's going to be a much more formal thing. So for those who want to see my more in-depth videos, so you can go over to my channel. It's going to be in the description to this live stream. I'm probably going to take this down next week. You guys need to keep in mind that I'm only doing this. That's going to respond to these. That's going to close. So I'm not going to be uploading anymore. It's just going to be a quick response. But let's get into it, right? So, a couple of days ago, I was doing business. I'm doing my, working on my new channel, working on my job, working on my school, right?
Yeah,
and somebody sent me a video
mm-hmm.
from BGS Immoral, right?
Yes.
In which he essentially proclaimed that the gender war is over, or that men won the YouTube gender war, and that the paradigm had changed.
The black men, not the manosphere. Black men, the black manosphere. Okay, let's get it straight. Let's be precise. Black men, not the manosphere. Black manosphere. Okay, it's number one.
Change and that.
You know, I've always wondered this. Why do so many people still want the drama to persist? Either you hate them, or you're making money off them. Like I said, maybe there might be a third element to it. But continuing.
And essentially that now, well, we can all celebrate. And I was just like, when I saw that bill that the person said to you, right, I said, I did not know whether to laugh or cry.
Who said anything about celebrating? Who said anything about celebrating? You didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Who said anything about it celebrating? If you're going to respond, how come you didn't play the video? Okay. The best thing to do is if you're going to respond to a response video, once you respond to the video, it wasn't even 20 minutes. But anyway,
I didn't know how to feel. Because from my point, that's like, hold up, that has to be the most retarded shit I've heard in my life. There is nothing in this environment that's telling you that the men will. In fact, I will say that the men are actually losing, and they're going to continue to lose because you're fighting against an environment that puts you at a disadvantage.
How? How are you fighting against an environment that puts you at a disadvantage? How? How? In fact, the whole thing about women getting put out of their houses, women Roe v. Wade getting reversed, all that them taking away feminism, stripping it away. Okay, women are becoming destitute and desperate. Okay, how is that an oppressive environment? How is that worse than you had it 5 years ago?
Number one, the fact that you're saying that quote unquote the manosphere, the black manosphere, wanted the YouTube gender war, that already proves to me that this entire time, when dudes were hopping on panels complaining, when dudes were screaming about submission, when dudes were talking about how chicks are not submitting, not doing this, all that kind of stuff, right? When dudes were just saying all this crazy stuff, they didn't really mean it, right? So there was a manosphere, and these spaces was just a place for dudes to vent. So,
yeah, it was a place for dudes to vent.
Never let people guilt you off of venting. You ever notice they let women vent all the time? Everybody wants to console them, give them that energy. But if a man gets angry, he's got to toughen it out. Bullshit. If you got to vent and let it out in a safe way. Continuing.
One, okay, they're hopping on screaming about submission. They never defined submission. They defined cooperation, right? That's what the whole thing was about. But you never found out. Never found out. You didn't know. But think, this is a 21-year-old kid with no experience that doesn't know what he's talking about. You never been through nothing, okay? But you think that what I say is retarded. I got kids and grandkids, okay? But you know more than I. That's retarded. They would even explain how they're losing yet. How are they losing?
Because you have more quote unquote red pill channels, just because you have more guys spending, that doesn't mean anything. Because that does not change real power in real life. Okay, you have an ecosystem where you guys can vent about issues. So what?
So power. Okay, you talk about online only. What is it about you guys that think online is the whole world? But anyway, go ahead.
And remember, they can. You don't see forgetting that. Okay, just like with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels, he went on to be, he blew up, had 1 million subs. The man was on top of the world. He died, and that was it.
You know what's crazy about that? Is that I think BGS might be onto something. I think that there's a lot of people online who real life sucks so much that they got to make this freaking avatar in their mind so they can look like they actually accomplished something. But when you look at their lives, a lot of people are pathetic. pathetic. Sad, really. But you're gonna sit here and say the manosphere or black men lost because of what? A lot of brothers are getting their rights to their children, to their happiness, their money, to their wealth. I don't call that a loss. I call it the way it should be. But we're going to continue.
How was that?
His whole high value man shit died with him.
No, it did. No, it.
You know why?
No, it didn't die with him because the kid still carries on. I just saw 10 white videos in the white, not even the manosphere, right? Every not even related to the manosphere, talking about what high value men. How did it die? How did it die? How did it die? So in other words, Kevin Samuels died a few months ago, and all of a sudden nobody talks about high value men anymore. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Right? Because all that shit was online. All that stuff was online. There was no real world like stuff behind it. Yes. Did you have some guys, who were trying to be high value? Yes, there was some guys who do that, but for the most part, a lot of this stuff was happening online. So why?
No, it wasn't all happening online because you have a whole bunch of the high value men existed. They weren't. The high value men weren't online. These are real world guys. These are guys that are supposedly that you're going to be one day. Okay, he defined it. They do exist.
It's kind of funny that so many people think that the high value man is fictional. No, he's just rare. Just rare. The two things you notice. They don't like it when one, you give them the ability to make choice. You don't give someone the freedom of choice. That's the ultimate stagnation. It's enjoyable to see this guy, to listen to this guy talk about women with little or no experience in them. Continuing.
They have degrees. Some have Ivy League degrees. Some have bachelors. Some have PhDs. Some are engineers. Some are programmers. Some are businessmen. We have 3 or 4 of them that are millionaires that show their face. That show in the real world. It's not a student in his dorm hiding behind a computer.
Once he passed away, it went away. The fundamental issue that guys are facing and that guys are wanting is that the manosphere is nothing more than a reflection. It's really a coping mechanism for lack of power. And I've said it before one time, right? When dudes talk about game, when dudes talk about fucking bitches, when dudes talk about, and I hate the fact I don't care about, I don't care about fucking bitches. That's not a point.
Yes, you do care about fucking bitches. Yes, you do care about.
Pause. With 20-year-old or 21-year-old don't care about fucking bitches. I call bullshit and a half on that one. You can fool anybody else. But you can't fool me at 21. Unless you were like socially awkward or sexually innate. I mean, I don't know. Continuing.
Dating. Yes, you do care about women. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Yes, you do. That's the problem. You're lying. You do care about it. Otherwise, you would have responded to me. You wouldn't be in the manosphere. Now, state what's wrong with you, and let's keep going.
And that's the issue.
Thank you.
Because I just saw this stream with Edward Anderson, niggas screaming about I'm traveling overseas.
So what?
Let me get this straight.
So
what? So you guys supposedly won the gender war, but you're trying to find ways to quote unquote leave to go abroad.
So what?
Really?
Yes, because a lot of guys didn't believe they had the freaking option to go overseas and go abroad or go someplace else or go outside their race. That's what SYSBM is, right? Because black men want to keep you in a box, okay? You have the power of choice, and that's what the manosphere is about. To actually tell black men they have the power of choice. They don't have to stay in this box. That's what it's all about. That's why it's important. That's why you have PhDs that says, you know what? In my world, I couldn't say that, and I didn't think you could. And the manager taught him, yeah, guess what? You can say that. Not only can you say it, you have a right to say it. You have a right to demand it. I'll give you one example how it did reflect in the real world. Since you talk about power, go as Ice Cube. Okay, he could not get his black black agenda off the ground, right? Couldn't get it off the ground, right? And chicks laughed in his face. They wouldn't support it. Black women would not get behind it. They would not support it. Guess what the manosphere did? The manosphere say, well, guess what? You embarrass Ice Cube. Guess what black men are not going to do? We're going to get together. We're going to rally the troops. We're going to spread the word. And we are not going to, we're actually going to protest certain women in power. They call it the Ice Cube effect. That's real world, sir. That's real world. How do you think president gets it? I think Obama got elected. Obama got his message out through Twitter. He got his message out online through Facebook. So he routed the troops. Anyhow, continuing. Does happen in the real world. It's already happening in the real world.
Really? But to go back to what I was saying, right? Fundamentally, the manosphere, red pill, game, okay? These are compensation for lack of power. That's all it is. We no longer live in a patriarchal society. Men don't have the power they used to. Men don't have the
same. The thing is that how did you learn that you no longer live in a patriarchal society? Who taught you that? Where'd you learn that? Where'd you learn that? Because Negro, you didn't learn. The thing is, you didn't learn that anyplace else, right? You didn't learn that in school. I know you didn't learn it in school because they don't teach it in school. Where'd you learn that? You learned it from my channel. You're telling me what I don't know, and you're going to use my talking points, what I said, and the stuff that I put online, and try to reverse it like you just learned something. I'm the one, and me and Gigi are the one to say you no longer live in a patriarchal society. Because if you listen to the feminists, you listen to all the other guys, they tell you that's guess what you do. You still live in a patriarchal society. But you're going to take my research and my philosophy along with the green gorilla and to try to turn it like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's the second time you've done that. Let's go on and see what else you got to say. Because I said already I'm getting pissed because you're trying to front me with the shit that you learned from me. Second time you've done that, Padawan.
same rights they used to. Right? Men don't have the same legal rights or economic power. Right?
You just learned that. You just learned that. You just learned that. I just, I just,
It, it,
you have mumbled your way through like the first 5 minutes, man. Disconnected points, no logic, no forethought. It's all emotion, all emotion. And all of a sudden, the manuscript must be worth something because all the points that you put out, guess what? Where'd you learn it from? Where'd you learn the language? Where'd you learn the philosophy? But it doesn't. But it's not in the real world. Your eyes are not open to the real world. So the whole manosphere, all philosophy is verse.
power in the real world. Y'all niggas want to come online and have all this alpha male talk. The problem I have with these conversations.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay.
When you have dudes like BGS and Clint, the YouTube gender war is one online. What that essentially means that you're essentially acknowledging that in the real world, men are losing.
Nope, that's not what I'm acknowledging. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get guys to take the next steps. Take the next step. That men are losing. No, actually, men are not losing per se. Men are not recognizing their power. In fact, men are actually starting to win. Okay, the environment has shifted. Men are starting to win. Men are winning so much they don't know what to do with it. They have shifted the balance of power in the personal space. Okay, the legal space is another thing. If you talk about the legal space,
Okay, I never said anything about the legal space. What I said in my video. The next space is policy. The next space is the legal space. But the online gender war, as it has been presented, as it has been described, is over. Even people that used to disagree with me, the one that once they looked at it, they had to agree. It's over. It's time to move on to the next step. Stop doing the same thing over and over again. But the thing is, what I'm hearing from this dude is basically a beta male's primal scream. Okay, it's about alpha males or alpha male posing and online being coping mechanism. Okay, and for some guys it is. You're one of them, Hammer. You're one of them. You're one of these guys to come online to learn game, learn the language because it's a coping mechanism for you. And you're mad that the so-called online manosphere, which is very tiny, can't solve your problems. It was never here to solve your problems. It was designed to do what it was designed to do. It wasn't designed to overturn the whole system. MGTOW itself wasn't designed to overturn the whole system. MGTOW was actually designed to bring balance to the force, right? But
Let's talk about it. The points we make is about fairness. You want equality, but you give us subordination. You know, we want fairness. Give us a reason why we should take your lives. These other issues that we got to talk about. A lot of people think that we're supposed to overrun the system and take back the clock and take away women's rights to vote. No, that doesn't work. You got to see what's legally applicable and apply it. If you're telling me that I can't see my kids or I need to go get custody, go be vicious. A lot of times, like when it comes to continuing.
takes time. You get on a plane and you want to place else is exercise your power because you participate in the system. Okay, the system and nobody participates in the system will collapse. If the men don't participate in the system will collapse. If men decide that they're not going to provide babies to the system or sperm to the system is going to collapse. That's where your power is. You're wrong. You do have power in the system. You're not powerless. Even as a black man, you're not powerless. Because if you were powerless, they wouldn't try to keep their foot on your neck to keep you from getting up because you're not a threat. With all that bullshit you're spouting right now, as a fucking 20-year-old that has zero experience in this kind of stuff, and I do mean zero. You're trying to talk to me like you're a 50-year-old guy and you've been through all the wars. You've been married, kids, wars, you've been all that kind of, you've been through the whole gamut. That's what you're trying to talk about. And then what kind of power you have? Because you ain't done nothing. You haven't done anything. You haven't even exercised your own personal power because you're too scared. Anyhow, continue. Let's go a few more minutes and then I'll drop this because already I'm disinterested.
It doesn't matter how many, quote unquote, how many red pill channels or red pill content. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter.
Why?
If in the real world, y'all still paying
this is the
real world, y'all still paying alimony. If in the real world, rights will be taken away from you.
Rights like what? In the real world, rights like what? What kind of rights are being taken away from you? What kind of rights are being taken away from you? Seriously, what kind of rights are being taken away from you in the real world? What kind of rights? You haven't described anything. You paying child support and alimony, okay? You were doing that when it was a patriarchy, okay? Child support and alimony goes back 300 years, okay? Didn't just start yesterday. But how do you combat? If it's too much, how do you combat it in the real world? In the real world, how do you? The thing is, how do you define a war? And if you think the online the gender war or the online presence of the black manosphere is worthless, why are you here? Why are you here? Where you have all these so-called red pill, what I call purple pill channels popped up to teach women how to get along with black men. Why? Because black men are leaving. Black men are dating out. Black men are getting on boats going overseas. Okay, getting foreign wives, which is something they should do. Don't like the women here? Import some. Import them. You have the power to import women. Okay, if you want to. You can exercise your power. Exercise your power. You can flood the market. The biggest thing that's wrong with black men is what's between their ears. It's not, the laws are bad. Okay, the laws are bad. Can be bad. I mean, the laws are really not that bad. Okay, they're really not. Can they be unfair if you decide to enter into that contract with women and get married? Yeah. Guess what you're gonna do if you have an unfair contract? You don't get in it. So the real angst has nothing to do with men or black men, period, right? If black men don't get married and black men stop having children and stop raising families, guess who the big loser is? It's not the men. It's a problem for the government. But that's the part that you don't understand. Why? Because you're a Padawan. You're a Padawan with no experience try to play a game on a larger level, and that's the problem. So you try to come at me like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. When the reverse is true, what have you ever said that's come true? What plan have you laid out except to say that, oh, I don't believe that the online gender war has an effect in the real world. But it does. Kevin is proof of it that it has an effect in the real world, because guess what it does? It spreads the narrative throughout the whole system. And then once you spread the narrative throughout the whole system, the people that are in place to change something can change it, can tilt it one way or the other. If you understand how power works, which you don't, sir, you can understand where you need to change it and who you need to get to change it. There in 2017, and I've produced it, something you should have known already, they're already talking about getting rid of the tender years doctrine, which most people don't even know that it exists because they don't teach you that shit. That 50-50 custody is almost, in those 20 states, is going to be law. In other words, each party has the same right to the kid, has the same legal standing. That's throwing out the 10 years doctrine. But things you don't know that because you're not looking for it. That was 2017. That wasn't 2022 or 2020. That was 2017. Now even with the heartbeat bill, okay, the anti-abortion bill, okay, there's going to be mandatory DNA testing. So a chick just not can.
You ever get in conversations with women, and so many of the women, if you asked them, how would they feel if the guy said he wanted a mandatory DNA test? And I watch so many shows, and the reaction of women, no, because that if he doesn't trust me, I mean, it's okay to go ahead and say this guy is the father of a child, but it's not okay to actually make sure of it. Okay, pick a struggle. I mean, really, make sense of it. You got defeated mindset, 21-year-old men who don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Have no clue. No clue. But like I said before, if guys like that will get the women they want, and you're going to Howard, and you telling me that you're so focused that you don't go to the parties. You're so focused you don't hang out with your colleagues or your fellow students. You're so focused that you don't talk to the females there. Something's gotta give. It's called safety. It's called you don't take a chance. You want to play it safe. You want women to fall in your lap. even forget to get women to fall to your lap, you're probably gonna have to kick out a few dollars anyway. Strip joint humor, by the way. Strip joint humor. But I'm gonna let him continue his thought.
You can't show up and ask for child support. You gotta have a DNA test. And the thing is, you gotta know what to push for in this system. Okay? Oh, well, nothing's gonna change in the real world because you still got child support and you still got divorce and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, how you get it changed? You have to go to the next level. But the online gender war, especially black gender war, which is what we call it, the white manosphere never called it a gender war. They never called it a gender war. The online gender war has certain objectives. Okay, those have already been reached. Which is something that I said. Those have already been fulfilled. Which is something I said. All wars have an objective. They have an end point. It's not perpetual. Why? I want power in the real world. Nigga, you ain't done shit. I want. You haven't done anything. You haven't done not one thing to actually do affect anything in the real world. But you're gonna get on here and you're gonna lambast people that are trying to do something. Padawan, go a few more minutes and then I'm close this out.
World, you're becoming more and more of really more of a gynocentric society. And one thing I came to.
There you go, using my word again, gynocentric. How do you know? And what difference does it make if everybody gets treated fairly? What difference does it make? The environment sets the system, right? The environment sets the system. You don't even know how it got started. How you know that you wound up here? It's become more and more of a gynocentric society. Not really. In fact, Roe v. Wade tells you that it's not as gynocentric as you think it is. Anyhow, continuing.
Realize that for a lot of dudes, the manosphere, although a lot of guys will hop on these spaces and complain about women and complain about society and the environment and stuff, because one thing was right, why is it that
only men who get women can complain about them? If you haven't been in a relationship, you'll see why they're complaining. Stop that shit. Stop it. Stop it. Goddamn stop it.
the guys who complain the most about chicks are the ones who promote game the most? That's something I've noticed, right?
No, see, there you go again. That's what you're complaining about. See, you're talking about the dating guys, okay, the game guys, because that's who you visit, because that's what you're interested in, okay. All the channels I visit don't talk about game. Most of the guys I know that the dating coaches, they don't complain about chicks. They don't. So I don't know. You're trying to mix the white manosphere and the game manosphere with the black manosphere. You're mixing. Okay. And then you come into my video when I'm talking about the black manosphere, a very small subset of the whole thing, and you're trying to expand it to what you want. Get the fuck out of here, Padawan. Okay. You can stop being a beta when you want to. Okay. Because you already told me your thing is to wait for a sex doll. That's what your thing is. I'm going to wait for technology to give me a sex doll. I'm not going to participate. I'm not going to get involved with women because it's too scary and things like that. So the gender war I'm going to keep fighting the gender war till I get my sex doll because it's too gynocentric.
See, this is what happens when you get these guys out there who think they know so much but never been in the game, never put skin into it. This guy is lazy, unrealistic, unassuming. He doesn't realize that, look, you got to do something. You got to put some effort into something. What happened to all these boys who are scared of rejection now? You're going to get rejected by some women. It happens to the best of us. You score 0 shots when you don't take them. He wants to play it safe, play it easy. But guys like this end up with women, and that woman will control and manipulate him like a thimble, and he'll be right over here in 10 years complaining, these bitches ain't shit. You got to get out there and get your stripes, young man.
To this, to that, to this, to that, instead of exercising your own agency, okay? And that's the problem that I hate, because because you have a gynocentric men, because you're just as gynocentric as the rest of them. I can hear it in your voice, because you don't sound like guys. Because that's the same thing that the women would say. Let's go listen to the women's channel and then compare it to what you're saying here. You sound just like them. You're complaining about red pill guys that try to use game, and complain about women, which you have done on many occasions, because you're one of the people that got online to complain about women, had panels complaining about women, and all of a sudden you're not one of those guys. So what we're trying to do is bring people in, bring language in, and bring people into where you actually start changing the system. But you want to keep fighting the same fucking war over and over again, because you can't get what you want. You can't get the submissive wife that's going to suck your dick and not say anything. Okay, it's America. Okay, there will be no place on the planet that's like that in a little bit. Why? Because the environment will change, but the laws are going to have to change right along with it. Patriarchy is not that old; it hasn't been around that long. Okay, you can trace patriarchy back. Really, I traced it back to less than 5,000 years. Patriarchy that we're used to. Now, it may have existed in other forms, but the patriarchy that we're used to, I've traced it back right about 5,000 years. Hasn't been around that long. And at some point, when the environment changes and started changing with the Industrial Revolution, which I pointed out, it's going to come to an end. My Padawan. If you're going to use my video, be accurate. What did I say? Not what you feel that I should have said. What did I say? What did I say about the next phase? You're going to have to fight a new war, because the old war, the online gender war, talking about women, is over, which is what I said. And you want to keep repeating the same cycle over and over again, but you don't like it. You're having an emotional reaction to a video because you want something out of the video, or you want something out of this manosphere experience that you're not willing to do in real life. You're not even exercising your own goddamn power. So I cheer a guy that will get on a plane and go be happy. Okay? I cheer a guy that can't get what he wants in his own group, will go to another group where he is accepted, where he can be happy, where he can thrive, where he can learn. Because I'll tell a guy in a minute, right? Young guy in a minute, you're too caught up over pussy. You're too centralized over getting sex, man. Why don't you take a couple of months, take some money, go to Brazil, get that shit all out your system, and then come back. Open up your eyes. See that all the women all over the world are not the same. They're not. Hell, they're not even the same in the United States. They're not the same. They look at things, they look at the world differently. They have a different experience than the ones in the West. And then come back and then compare. And then you have enough maturity and experience, and hell, even bodies all behind you, to where you can actually evaluate a woman in front of you. You don't even have that yet, man. Talking about real power. You're not going. You live in Washington D.C. You can go fucking right down the street and protest. You can join. You can actually join some kind of political action committee right now and go protest for whatever law that you want to get passed. You're right in the heart of Washington D.C. What have you done? What have you done? There's men's. I'm sure there's men's groups on campus. Have you joined one? No. But this is a brotherhood, right? And every person that listens and learns something has the ability to go out and basically apply this knowledge in their own life, with their women, with their kids, with their marriage, if in the legal system. But if they don't know, if they don't have any information, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Okay. Why do you go to school? Why do you go to school? When you going to school, what you're learning? Okay. Are you actually going out and applying it in the real world? No. You're going to wait till you get out of school and try to figure it out. They're there to learn. The school doesn't actually put you in a factory and actually teach you how to do something, right? You have to learn information so that you can actually put all that stuff together and actually go out and apply. This is a school. The online manosphere is a school for information. That's what it's there for, so that each individual can actually go out and apply this in the real world. Okay. For feminism took 200 years to actually get to this point. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. And there's phases of it. The black manosphere is just a phase, okay? The online gender war, as it was designed. In fact, this is the third iteration of the online gender war. We already had one and two. Already had one and two. The first one ended. The second one is ending. Okay. Now we're into the third gender war, or if you want to call it a gender war. I don't even call it a gender war, because if you're going against the state, gender has nothing to do with it. It's not a gender war anymore. It's actually a battle for men's rights, not a gender war. And men have the power, because men say, if you don't Give us equality. We don't get what we need, we're not going to participate. Until men say that, it's nothing's going to happen, right? Men always have had the power. Black men have the power too. They have the right to say no. That's what MGTOW is about. MGTOW is about saying no, but you'll learn that. But anyway, I've gone on long enough about this. Basically, he's not really saying very much. Okay, so I'm going to put this up, and I'm going to get to the next one. All right, because my ex-girlfriend is visiting me.
Well, here's the problem with a lot of this stuff. You got these guys who want this fairy tale. They're just like the women. They want this fairy tale shit. They want the fairy tale shit. They want this made up, this, oh, I'm going to get this ultra submissive wife. She going to say nothing and do nothing. Dude, you're not even cultured for that shit. Now, I'm not saying black men need to go and get disrespected. No. A lot of dudes out there, when they get that type of woman, they get upset. When they get that type of woman, they get upset. They're like, she's a pushover. They get scared. See, he's intimidated by not even basically going out there and searching for a woman that he wants. You have to really be careful and say, hey, this is the type of woman I want. This is the type of woman I'm going to get. Now, should a guy be scared? No. You're going to take bumps and bruises and lumps. It's part of life. To answer your question, how do you try to be a cop in Anne Arundel County? How do you start? One, research the county. Try to go to ride-alongs first. See if you like it, because not every jurisdiction is the same. I've worked out Anne Arundel County before I was a police officer. I was part of the prisoner transport, and what makes it interesting is that a lot of guys, a lot of guys don't understand that policing and police jurisdictions are different by location. In a city like Baltimore, where it's roughly 70% black, you're going to get a different reaction than somewhere being a police officer in Montana, like rural Montana. I don't even think they got 1 million people in Montana. Okay, you're probably gonna have to deal with bears and elk and all kinds of wildlife. So I would do a ride along first, see what those cops in that area deal with on a day to day basis. Make sure you're in shape. Make sure you have a clean record. Make sure you have a valid driver's license. It sounds like I'm making fun of you, but no, I'm saying that for a reason, because there's a lot of brothers out there who do not make sure of that. And best luck, and hopefully you get it. My man Joe said a great amount of dudes are not willing to learn anything. Excuse me again. They rather stick with their old tools and understanding and complain how things don't work out. See, you're supposed to adapt and overcome. and we got away from that. We got men so soft out here that they're afraid to adapt and overcome, and it's gonna bite us in the ass a lot. This is a kid who's in a HBCU. He's in an HBCU. If you know anything about HBCUs, you got a good amount of nice looking black women. Do they be on some feminist shit? Some do, some don't. But when you're too afraid to search out what you want, because what it sounds like to me is that either he wants this beautiful woman to be submissive and love him for who he is, this fairy tale shit that goes both ways, people. Yep. Oh yeah, it's like not even a million people. I think it's like 700,000 people in Montana. And instead of actually saying, you know what, if this woman gives me 80% of what I want, and to see if the 20 that she doesn't have, if you could deal with it, you got to make options, because the more you don't go out there and seek what you want, the more unhappy you're gonna be. You see how these chicks are? I wanna What they call Kevin, and they like, I want a high value man. You know what made them upset? They didn't qualify. Instead of saying, Kevin, what can I do to qualify? And when Kevin actually answered them, you need to lose weight. You need to be fun. You need to be interesting. You need to be feminine. You need to be supportive. Good old Dave Teal said, is 35 too late for a black man to join the police and fire? At Charles Salter Jr. I have a brother who's thinking about joining one of the departments. No. I've seen guys who come out the military at 38, 45, still in good shape, join the police and fire department. Hey, it's what it is. Joe said, "Yeah, I think they think things should be easy and ready made." I was like that for me once. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know the reason why the term champion is held in such high esteem. I'll give an example. I've said this story probably few damn times about my first year of wrestling. I got out there, was winning my first match 4-0. I didn't have the experience and the wherewithal to know that I was turning on my back and to stop. Next thing you know, I get turned on. He does something and I'm turning on my back. I get pinned. Lose my first match. At that moment, and I was training for about 2.5, maybe 3 months because of preseason to get ready for wrestling. I could have been like, like a guy like Hammer, I quit. It's too hard out here. Or go back out there and train harder. So I decided to train harder. When the tournament came, the first match that I had was against the first person I lost to and destroyed him in less than 2 minutes. The third match, the semifinal match, was against a guy who wrestled not only in high school but junior league, and I beat him. The championship finals was against a guy who I thrashed, tech falled, and pinned. We ended up going into triple overtime because he learned from his lessons and came back harder as well. we were tired. We were exhausted. This dude kept backing up. My teammates cheering me on, and they're like, keep moving forward. He's stalling. He's stalling. The referee calls it caution, stalling, red. I keep moving forward. He says caution, 1 point, raise my hand, new champion. Tired. Tired. But guess what? You got to drive on. See, this is what happens why you don't have as many guys in the military as you did before. Are we producing warriors or are we producing bitches? Think about that. Are we really producing warriors or are we producing bitches? There is no way in hell, if you really want sex on a college campus, it's pretty damn easy. Pretty damn easy. Unless you're disfigured, even if you're short, even if you, like I even asked Hammer myself, do you work out? Do you try to improve your body? What do you do? Well, not much. Yeah, go to a gym. Dress better. Hell, you can make cheap clothes look better if you take them to the cleaners or the tailors and get them, fitted for you better. But no, people don't want to make the changes needed to get what they want. It's the same shit with the women. You want this high tier man, but you're not willing to lose the goddamn weight. You're not willing to go to a culinary school and learn to cook, to a finishing school to help you actually sharpen up your femininity. Where do we get this shit? Not one damn time did some of these girls ever ask their mothers, can you teach me to cook? Can you teach me to sew? Can you teach me to iron? Can you teach me to wash clothes by hand? Why? Because probably a goddamn mother didn't know. This is the reason why the gender war is over. Because black men finally realized something. There were better options. They gave hella better income outcomes. Black men were no longer stuck. Okay? Black men were no longer stuck. The casualties of this war were the men who never even understood what the hell we were here in the first place. The casualties of this war were the females who were actually told and put on game and still do the same shit, getting the same result, which in definition is insanity. Anybody got any questions or want to talk about the subject matter? The link's right here. See, too many people in this gender war shit have a defeatist mindset. Women already came back. But see, what we got to realize is that the people who are really fucking up after the victory are the purple pill people. What are your demands? What do you need those women to do? Something's got to give. That's the only problem that kicked black men in the ass. That's the only thing. Well, nobody's coming up. Do I have any more questions? I'm gonna end this early. Might start up later tonight. But I'm gonna tell you something about this gender war, the casualties, and the battle tactics, man. When you go to war, yes, BGS is right. You have to have an objective. You have to have something that you're fighting for. Once you meet those objectives, you must come and negotiate what happens. You must realize that, look, you're not just fighting because you want bitches to be submissive. Shit, who cares? You're fighting for the freedom and souls of your young boys, of young black men who are yet to be here, your grandkids. Do you want them to suffer under the same shit you're going through? Do you want an opportunity to be respected in these Americas? Have an opportunity to live your best life? To be happy? Pussy's pussy's just an outcome, not the goddamn destination. But that's what happens to a lot of these dudes. Pussy is just something that you get on the side. It's just one of those added fringe benefits. Your rights as a man, your rights as a father should be the most goddamn important thing going on in any situation when you're talking about the quote unquote gender war. Now, if nobody has any questions or coming up on the panel, I'm going to say we're out.